One thing for sure, we're gonna start on time. I
I
like
love
that,
it.
man. When you showed up in the studio promptly, I said, man, that's how we do. That's how we do.
We don't
Rebooted.
do TP time, brother.
Say that
We we,
again.
we do on time.
Uh, Brother, good to see you. Here we are again, rebooted. The culture of technology, our perspective, whatever you gonna call it, we gonna call it our new show that is seeing some success, and we appreciate the audience. We appreciate the community. We see folks jumping in. We everywhere that we can be. I'm still banished from TikTok though. I can't go live on TikTok. I don't know what happened. Did you say something? Somebody must have said something on one of these weeks that I know I didn't say that. I'm trying to
I
do
don't have
right.
no love one way or the other for TikTok.
See,
It's not
there
my
you
thing.
go. Well, just in
It's
case
just not my thing, brother.
just
Just
in
not
case.
my
Well,
thing.
it was doing nice, and then my son showed me the TikTok shop, so I started buying some things. So then started fiending off of it now. So I now miss it. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Seniors in the building. We official now. Um, Listen, we had some stories to talk about, but you know how we do conversation. Me and Tall Boy, it's just between us. We just trying to keep it 100 and talk about some things. If you got any subjects around consumer technology, around IT that you want to talk about, put a Q in the comments. We'll acknowledge you in the audience, and then we'll have that conversation. That
Yeah,
sound about right?
we'll open it up to the audience today. And to be quite frank with you, um, the tech stories this week are quite weak.
Mm.
And
Boo boo.
instead of boring, instead of just boring you with stuff that you probably don't care about, maybe you have a tech problem. Maybe you have a something that you always wanted to learn. Maybe it's something that you saw and you just said you wanted to be a part of it. And you wanted to know how to do it. Maybe we could do like a live demo or something like that in real time. But
Man,
to have you go down this rabbit hole of software that you probably are not going to use, don't care about, or never heard of, that's probably not even important to you, why even have you go down that rabbit hole? Because you don't need
see, he talking about me is what he doing. Because I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna spill our laundry. I
it.
wanted to talk about Signal,
No, you can
the
talk about it.
the secure, yes, quote unquote secure messaging app that's now in the news that some folks use. It's in the news because a reporter was included in a conversation amongst some administrators in the 47's administration about some war plans, and it's not something that you just easily do by adding someone to a group. And it's just like Shannon Sharp accidentally going live on IG Live. It's not
Hey, you
something
don't
that you
accident. You just don't
accidentally do.
accidentally go live.
Right?
You had to
Let's make
have
it plain for everybody. Let's make it plain for everybody. So I wanted to just
Go
bring
ahead,
that
tell
up.
people what. No, 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 no. Tell people what Signal is, because maybe they might care about it, even though I think that they don't. But go ahead. Tell them
Well,
what Signal.
so again, you and I had that conversation as well about WhatsApp, and it's a shame that a lot of folks in the United States don't even use WhatsApp when the rest of the globe does. It's just like soccer too, right? The U.S. doesn't really pay attention to soccer.
World Cup is way bigger
Yeah,
than the Super Bowl, the NBA, and Major League Baseball all combined globally, but in
yeah,
the United States.
yeah. U.S. need to catch up. So Signal is again a secure networking, a secure communications text messaging app. Right. You can send text, you can send videos, you can send multimedia as well. So you can send, like I say, video and photos and things like that. It's based off of your mobile phone. I don't know if they have a web version or not, but all of the messages to and from all the recipients are encrypted. That's the thing, right? No one is supposed to be able to read those messages outside of who it's directly sent to. Now, again, you have to consciously add folks to those groups and to those communications. So it's really hard to understand how an external entity. One, why is the U.S. government using Signal? Why are they using an app that you can get off the Google Play Store and the Apple iOS store to send very sensitive types of information? We won't go into a political conversation, but that's a question right there. Uh, but again, that's the conversation right there. And I don't think again a lot of people are necessarily using it. We're using iMessages. We're using what do you use on the Android side to send messages back and forth?
Mm, just to send probably just a group message. That's it.
Okay. So, because yeah, as you know, on the iOS side, we have iMessages that comes included with the phones, but there's so many, there's a
It's
slew of them on the
RCS.
Android
So,
side.
I mean, it's RCS messaging and then,
Okay. Okay.
SMS messaging. But I mean, like I said, I don't think that people are on that level of, um, like I said, you just probably add somebody to a group
Hmm.
unless you're on WhatsApp or Signal.
Yeah.
But Messenger, I'm in a couple of Facebook group chats, and I think that that's somewhat, privatized, if that makes sense.
Right.
Uh,
Right. And that was the conversation that I wanted to have. Right. Again, you have to consciously add folks to these messages. So I'm not believing the story that the editor from the Atlantic was accidentally added. Maybe they didn't mean to add him, but again, he was still part of that. One, why are they using Signal to send these kinds of messages? And just the moral of the story: be aware of who you're sending messages to and from. Right. Just because again, you may end up being part of a text string that has war messages or war plans, and you don't want to be part of that message. So there's the moral of the story. There's the teachable moment. Know who you're sending your messages to. Don't respond to things that come from folks that you may not know, because it could be a phishing scam or scheme. Just be aware, folks. Take care of yourself. Protect yourself at all times.
but we've all made mistakes where we've joined or added or sent a message out to somebody. It's just not as serious as this, as far
Mm-hmm.
as sending out war plans, if
I
that
mean,
makes sense.
that's trifling, brother. Come on, that's
Like,
trifling.
that's the only thing. Um, but we've all have made a mistake. Said, "Oop, I did not mean to send that message to that
Mm-hmm.
person." We've all sent
Mm-hmm.
that email. We've all sent that text message to somebody. Now, the
I
way
just
that
told
we
you about
handle
one that I
that,
did at work the other day. I just told you I called somebody out they mouth at work, and I got in
tell the
trouble
people.
for it. No,
Tell the
we ain't
people.
gonna go down that, because
You ain't gonna tell the people. But you
some of
brought it
my
up,
work
so since you
colleagues are
bringing it up,
probably watching right now. So listen,
they probably want to laugh too.
we
Yeah.
already laughed about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we already laughed about it. We moving on now. Chelsea Foster in the building. She says,
That's my
whenever you
people.
feel like you want to give up, what did you tell yourself? Or what do you tell yourself?
Ooh, that's tough.
I like that. Answer that,
Um,
brother. That's
yeah,
your
I
people.
like how
We
you
gonna
put me on the spot with
well,
it.
you said that's your people, so we gonna let you go
Yeah,
first.
'cause
We
she
gonna
actually called me as the show was going live, and I'm like, I'm trying to send a message, but I'm actually live. But now that
mm,
she didn't say this, apparently this must be something serious, because she came on the YouTube and
mm-hmm,
said this message. So that's a loaded question, because I've been in those shoes, and I mean, as much as easy as people say, just pray about it.
mm,
People don't want to hear the pray about it moment at that time. They want to see actions and results. And I think you have to ask yourself, depending on what the situation is, what was my why, or where or why am I doing what it is that I'm doing? If it's career based, if it's life based, I don't really have an answer for you right now. Maybe I'll have one for you at the end of the show. But career based, you have to ask yourself why, because trust me, there are days that I feel like, why am I doing what I'm doing? And why am I still pushing forward? But I just
yeah,
feel like it's calling for me, career wise. Life wise, that's a different story, because I feel like, that might be something you might just need some encouragement. You might need to hear it from a different person that you care about or that knows your situation. And then, because you and I have had some life conversations about, some things that, I've gone on or dealt with personally. And I've had that what do I do moment.
mm-hmm,
And that's tough. So maybe just hearing that from somebody, of knowing who you are and just giving you some encouragement to just say, let me just try it another day.
yeah. That's a good point, man. That's a good point. And I'll just add, and again, we want to be real cognizant, and we want to be real attentive to this message, because this is someone reaching out. with a question, looking for some assistance, is know you have folks that are there to hear you and to help you. If you're ever stuck, if you're ever in a situation, if you feel vulnerable, if you feel like everything's on your shoulders, reach out to those folks that care about you. And sometimes again, they may not think that they are out there, but there are folks out there that really care about you, and have that conversation, have that heart to heart conversation, have that where you yelling back and forth and you throwing stuff, whatever the case may be, get all the emotions out, but know that there is someone to talk to and talk through if you have a trying time going on in your life. So Chelsea, hopefully we gave you some things, and Tall Boy or I, listen, or both of us, we will holler at you when we get off the show, and give you some love, and give you some encouragement as well. But you are not alone in anything, right? Everyone is going through situations, and you have folks in your life, I know, who are willing to help you, and are willing to support you.
So let me say this, because I told you I didn't have the answers right when you asked me that.
Yeah.
But something just hit me in my heart. And I know that I don't know what the situation is because I haven't had a chance to talk to her or, about the situation. But you have to remember that there's seasons in life. There's 4 seasons: the time to plant, time to water, or grow and manifest. And you have to ask yourself, where are you in your season? So if you're in that planting stage or if you're in that watering stage, that ain't fun. And when you're growing, that ain't sexy either. But when you're manifesting, we all love to manifest, but eventually you're gonna have to go back and plant, water, and you're gonna have to grow again. So you have to ask yourself, what stage of life in those seasons are you? And I hope that, until we get off this show, I hope that'll give you something to think about.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for that. Thank you for the question. Thank you for confiding in us your request as well to reach out, man. Listen, we over here doing things. That's now I know we rising above the line. Now I know we bringing value, right? Because we can sit here and clown and talk and jibber jabber about all the other stuff, but someone asks us a serious question, we gonna pause, right? And we gonna try to fix some things. So
Yeah, I don't want
uh,
to make light of that question
yeah,
because I think that anybody could be going through that that's
yep,
watching this video on a replay, and they might be going through something, and if they think that we're joking, no, there's somebody that you really can pick up the phone. You may be embarrassed, you may feel like you can't talk to them, you feel like well, I don't want people knowing my business,
mm-hmm,
but there's somebody out there, because if you do something drastic, they're gonna say, well, why didn't you call me? That's what they're gonna say.
yeah,
Or when the people find out, "Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me? I could have done something," And, everybody going through a tough time. I know people that are losing jobs right now. They got families to take care of. The government is tripping. Um, we don't know what holds for tomorrow. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that everybody is going through something. And when you think that your situation is bad, there might be 2 or 3 others that might be just as worse off than you, and you might be the motivation to keep them going.
that's real talk. That's real talk. This is why we do this, right? Again, just common sense, plain old conversations with the community. So we're not doing this just for ourselves. We're doing it really to have this dialogue back and forth with y'all. So appreciate that again, Chelsea. And again, if anybody has any questions that they want answered, put the Q's in. We'll give you an A, and let's have that dialogue, that conversation. I was on Amazon earlier today.
Uh-oh.
Uh, Shouts out, and again, Amazon is one of them. Man, there's a lot of
Mhm.
places that we can't be shopping, or we shouldn't be shopping, right? Because we want to do the thing. We want to sit in and stand out and do that. But man, I can't quit Amazon. Oh, my wife can't. I know that. So regardless, there's a gang of boxes that show up around around this house. You got to section that out. See, yes, we will do that. Amazon Spring Sale started today. Amazon Spring Sale started today. Tall boy, what's on your list, man? You got anything that you looking at?
Well,
Huh?
it's
Come on
funny.
now.
It's funny because I have not purchased anything from Amazon in a while. If I do purchase anything on Amazon, it's basically necessity things.
Mm-hmm.
Like my printer right here is out of ink.
Hmm.
So if anybody want to buy me some 273 uh, uh, ink for an Epson XP620, I would be
You need that
greatly
black and that
appreciated.
magenta, don't you? That's what that is. You
Boy,
need that
boy,
it's
that
that
black
magenta.
be boy, that black be getting you, boy, every single time, boy, it gets you every time. So it and then you can buy the whole packet like 45 or $55, but it doesn't come with the black, and you got to buy the black separate. And you don't need photo black; you need regular black.
Yeah, you
So
need that regular black.
it be getting me every time. So between that and I think we've talked about this before, solid state drives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at, and I need to go ahead and just make the purchase from to shift cam. But I was looking this past weekend to see if there was anything that could be an alternative, but that shift cam kind of has my eye.
That's the
But the
one.
only problem, but the only problem that I have with the plank is if I purchase now, I can't get it for another 60 days. Whereas if I purchase on Amazon, I can get it in 2 days.
You can get it tomorrow. That's why that boy
So,
have
but
it this weekend. Mm.
yeah, so that's and there's a few smaller things that I'm not gonna hurt because I don't really. God has blessed me,
Mm.
and sometimes Hit the Spot 1006 said something to me last week, and it really made me think. Um, you know, um, I've been blessed because unfortunately these last couple of weeks I've been dealing with death
Mm-hmm.
um, in my family, and you get a chance to go see family, and you're not going to always agree, and you're not going to always get along with everybody. But a statement was made, and it was like, you really hold your own, tall boy. Like you may not have it all, but you make some moves. And I really was like, what do you mean by that? He was like, you've never had your hand out, and as long as I've known you, you never had your hand out where you asking people, for some coins.
Mm.
Might ask James for a couple coins here or there, and he'll laugh me out the room. But I mean, as far as family is concerned, I don't ask nobody for nothing. And when people run into a situation, I try to be there for them to the best of my ability. Now, they got more than I do, but I'm the one that's 9 times out of 10 being the blessing wherever I can.
Mm.
But the blessing ain't really coming back on my side. So when she said what she said, it was like, wow. But I've learned how to network. I've learned how to position myself. I know how to put myself in the rooms. I learned how to get access. So because of all of that, God has blessed me with, all of those intangibles to be able to not have anything that's really needed. Well, yeah, needed. I have things that are wants, but my needs,
Your
what
needs
they
are
say,
met.
yeah, the needs are met. And so I'm blessed. So I have some things that's in the Amazon shopping cart, but it's like, do I really need that? And so now that's kind of like, where I'm at in 2025 because I was doing fine without it. Do I really need it?
Listen, I'm here to make you spend this money. This is what we gonna do.
Oh, okay.
Doc Rock, I
You
see you
know how
over there
that
on
worked out.
IG, brother. Appreciate you for jumping in. And he jumped in at the right time. Listen, Amazon sale again. You don't have to buy everything. We're not going to spend all the money. There's really not a lot, honestly, even for me, that I'm seeing. Because again, we both blessed. Appreciate you sharing that story as well for going into that and hit the spot. 1006. Come on, you know how I feel about hit the spot. That's my people right there. Uh, it's always the same things, right? That come up during these sales from Amazon. It's always the AirPods. It's always the Beats. It's always the things like that. The Dyson stuff that you don't need. The Air Tags. But it's interesting to see what people end up thinking that they need when they really don't. Again, by changing the price and by putting stuff on sale. So the Breville Smart Oven Air Fryer for $280, down from 320. Is that really a deal? Do you really? How many times are you going to use the Breville? I would use it, but again, I already got one. But some of these pricing, some of these deals aren't really as extravagant, I guess, as they used to be. And I wonder if, again, just from a global perspective, if it's because of impeding tariffs, just cost of goods sold, that kind of thing, shipping stuff from overseas to the US. I'm just wondering if the pricing structure for some of these offerings just isn't going to be the same as it used to be. Right, spring sales, Amazon sales, what's it going to look like even come holiday time, come November and December and things like that? That's really why I brought this conversation up, because I don't see it being as advantageous for the consumer with showing the same things. How many pairs of AirPod Maxes can I buy? About three, but I'm not buying any more. How many microphones can I buy? Doc is probably going to chime in and say as many as you need. But when you show the same things, how many vacuum cleaners can you buy? I've already got two running in the house. We got one upstairs and one downstairs. I got Isaiah running upstairs and Jordan running downstairs. But I'm I'm not excited by the sale. I'll say that. But we brought the story up because it's happening right now, the Amazon spring sale, and I believe it's for about a week or so.
I'm mad
Uh,
at Doc Rock.
why you mad at him?
Uh,
Don't be mad at him. He out there doing his
Because
thing.
he said, "But it's the big super air joint." And
Ah.
the only reason I'm mad at him is he did not make the big in capital B-I-G. It should have been capital B, capital I, capital G. But it's the big super air joint. That's the only reason why I'm mad at Doc Rock. Shout out to you, boy, for pulling up
Hey,
on us.
John Boyd
Oh,
out there is doing that work too. He's out there creating content left and right. So being a good mentor
Stewart.
to folks that are out there in these digital streets. So appreciate you for that, boy. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks down in Vegas.
I was trying to come, but the flight. If I get the flight, I gotta have a place to stay, and
We,
all of
we
that
got
ain't
places
adding.
to stay. Come on,
Oh, I can stay. Oh, you got a place for me to stay?
well, hold on. I said
See,
we can
there you go.
find you places to stay.
No, because the coin has evaporated. So, Hit the Spot 1006 is over there talking about she want Beyonce tickets, and I don't know why. Um,
Why you deviating? Why it's like a
no,
squirrel moment. We done gone from one topic to the other.
because
Okay.
yeah, I just ain't got it. I just don't have it. I want to be there, but the way the pricing is set up on Southwest Airlines and trying to charge for bags now,
Mm.
uh, it's just not
The way
doable.
your checking account and the way your savings account is
I
set
just
up.
told you what I just been going through these last two. I mean, you just think money just falling out the trees, brother, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
no,
I got
stop right there. Don't go any further now. I don't need you
you
putting my
did it.
business out in these streets. I don't
You
need you.
did. Yeah, you going down the street, so senior, get your son now, senior, get
Amen.
him.
Amen. Let's lock in.
He
Let's
said,
get refocused.
"Amen."
Yeah, let's get refocused. Laura, we see you in the building. Appreciate you for being here. Appreciate you for being here. Doc says, look, the desert sleeps cold at night, clear skies and lots of stars to see. And listen, we in Vegas. You've been to, you know how it is. It's gonna be nice
Look,
and
look, James, let me tell you, I
yeah.
literally said
What
maybe
you
I
say?
could fly in on Monday and fly out Tuesday night. So, I mean,
Wow.
but they say you don't sleep in on because really, I don't need to be there that weekend. I just need to be there Monday and Tuesday, and then I can catch the last flight out, and I can be at home and you probably fall asleep in the hotel lobby because we both done it before. And then just find a bathroom, do a bird bath, and keep it moving. Yeah, I even thought about that, and it's like, boy, you wilding. But I don't know. I just Southwest they kind of hurt my feelings with the bags.
Well, talk about that because maybe not everyone knows about that. And yeah, Southwest is the truth. I'm a was it tier A companion pass and all that good stuff. But yeah, they're making changes to their bag structure. Right now,
Oh,
it's two
I
bags buy
find the
fly
article.
free. But go and
Yeah,
talk a
yeah.
little bit about that and how that's
Find the
affecting
article. So
affecting
last
you.
week so everybody knows Tallboy only flies Southwest because my mom worked for AirTran, and before she transitioned, she worked for Southwest. So I have a loyalty to Southwest. I will fly other airlines that is above grade of um, Southwest, nothing below grade of Southwest. But I am loyal to Southwest. Everybody knows that. And one of the key features is bags fly free, and try to get bulkhead or try to get emergency exit row. Now
Mm-hmm.
they have they're hurting. All these airlines are really hurting. American is hurting, United is hurting. I mean, everybody is hurting. I don't know why, because the money is there. What you did with it and how you're paying all these CEOs all this money,
Mm-hmm.
that they need to take a pay cut like everybody else, or they need to restructure something. And what they've done is decided to pass the cost on to us. And bags have always said they fly free, and now bags, I think the first bag is $35, and the second bag is going to be a little bit more. And then they're also doing tiered sections, like instead of A, B, C, I think now you have to pay for tickets similar to a
How you feel about
Ryanair.
that part right there? How you feel about that
Ooh,
part?
I don't like none of it, James. I feel like I'm on
Hit the spot since
Ryanair.
you fly Deltas. I want to talk about Delta in a minute, but I just
Oh
wanted to
my
hear what your
god.
thought on that.
I am a Delta. Like, when I say I am team, I am a Southwest, if aficionado, I think that's how you say it. I
Go
just
ahead.
love
Big words,
everything.
ladies and gentlemen. He using
Yeah,
big
yeah,
words.
yeah, word of the day.
Mm.
Uh, I love everything. I love everything Southwest, and unfortunately, this really just took a dagger in my heart. And I even thought about maybe I'll get on Amtrak, but they're not as reliable to go out from the South to the West Coast. I don't think I could sit on a train that long, um, and to take a drive that long. I don't know. CES is going to be different in 2026, so
Wow.
I don't know. I
Major
don't know.
moves for you, boy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's difficult, man. It hurts. So, but back to the story. The changes will be made if as late as March 28th, March
No,
31st or
May
something.
28th. May 28th.
Oh,
So it's
May.
coming. Yeah, it's coming.
So changes are coming fast. And the last of the free tier, the bags flying free, getting open seating, that's all gone. And it hurts because I just feel like somebody did not do something right with that company, because it was sustainable before. Why is it not sustainable now?
And if we had that crystal ball, if we sat in those conference rooms, I all transparency, I am a stockholder, but again, I only read my prospectus and I have someone else go and vote for me. So I don't get into that detail level, but it's interesting even what Doc is saying, right? You know, part of it is that people don't understand that a flight airline makes about $7 to $13 per passenger per flight. And you got to think about they're just racking up the money. You got to pay for fuel costs. You got to pay for the employees, and all the employees obviously want to raise the cost of living increase depending on where they are. You can't fly a pilot for too many hours. There's just things that we don't know. But when we look at it from the consumer side, yeah, I hear you, tall boy, right again. Man, bags flying free. That's what made me 90% of the time choose Southwest over an American, over a United, or even over Delta. I used to fly JetBlue back when they first came out because I like them leather seats and the peanuts they used to give you. But you just got to get that tier status. Get the tier status. So keep flying. Come on to CES next year. Make sure that we hook up again after our 12th year at CES. Get that
Hold up.
tier
Don't
status.
don't do that,
What?
because I don't want to call you out. Go ahead, finish your statement. Don't
All right,
tell
I'm
me
talking around. I'm talking
you
in
talk
code
around me.
here. So I'm just.
Okay.
It hasn't been 12 years. I don't know how long it is. Before I had the gray hair, so that's for sure. Just keep flying, brother. Don't stop. I know you're an international travel aficionado as well, so keep flying. Keep getting stamps in your passport. Don't let Southwest bring you down. Um, I wanted to flash back to what Tammy said about Delta, because shouts out to Delta. I saw that they released a an ad either today or yesterday, and I saw it, and it was in homage to their, I believe, 100 years of service, and it was a cool little commercial about their beginning of flight announcement. You know, put your seatbelt on, boom, boom, boom. We got to do all this, and it showed everyone in those era uniforms. It showed pilots in there in the 1920, uniforms, flight attendants, and that. So I thought that was pretty cool what Delta did, I actually enjoy flying Delta, but I am also we a Southwest family, and they got a lot of my money. That's why I became a stockholder, because I buy what I spend money on. But
You eat your own dog food, basically.
I'm eating this dog food, brother. They know me. You know, my family, we 35,000 feet in the air. We live,
Hey,
we do that thing. Doc says the reason why prices keep going up, and each passenger in the U.S. thinks that they are the only one trying to get away with 10 extra pounds. Jet fuel costs a grip, and the weight is important.
I can
Dang.
live with I can live with if you're over the weight, you pay the fee.
Yeah.
I've been guilty of it as well. I can live with that. But you went from 2 bags fly free to
All
none
the
fly
bags got to pay for.
man, come on, man. Like, I mean, you didn't even wean me off of it like you just said no, everything.
Mm.
Run me my coin. You could have said the first bag fly free. I would have been a
Uh,
little perturbed, but now you just,
now you just mad. You
man, it
just
hurts.
bitter. You wake up mad. Now
And
you
Tammy,
mm-hmm.
I'm not been
Flying
giving
free
out
on Delta.
government.
She got it like that.
Yeah, flying free on Delta is. I'm looking at hit the spot 1006. Like, come on now, like the what they say. What is it? Favor ain't fair. Man, it ain't fair.
It
It
ain't
is what.
fair. And I'm sorry. And again, I don't want to talk disparaging about nobody, but I'm not gonna fly no Frontier.
And so
I'm not gonna fly no
Frontier. So
Spirit either.
it's a gimmick for the
Yeah.
people who here. They ran an ad, and if you book between now and March 31st, before you book before March 31st, your bags fly free until the end of the summer on Frontier. After
Okay.
that, that's it. So
Okay.
people don't even know that you have to read the fine print. People,
Nobody
that's
reads
the
the
hook.
you will list the
That's
end
the
user
hook to get
license
you in.
agreements. No one reads that stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, do I go get a Southwest credit card
Yeah.
and add to my credit card so I can
No,
get my
that's
bag
the
fly
South.
free?
Okay, okay. Let me. We're gonna stick on this for a minute. So let me first retract. I'm a superstitious kind of guy, so I don't want to be talking bad about Frontier and about Spirit. I've flown Spirit one time, and they did charge your boy to go use the bathroom. So again, after that, I just said no, I ain't gonna do that anymore. But again, like I say, we spend a lot of time in the air, so I don't want to talk about any of these planes and any of these companies. Um, so there's that. Man, go get that Southwest card. That Southwest card is the truth. My goodness, you got to pay it off, right? That's the trick that my wife and I have got to get companion fare and the top tier real quick. Go buy a little something. Go buy you something for that. Go buy yourself a new microphone. Go buy yourself a new monitor, a new desktop, new laptop or something. Boom, pay it off right quick, and then get them points. It's all get the right credit card that has travel and reward points. Don't mess around with that Macy's or that Nordstrom or that I don't know, that Kroger card. Get your
I have no
shouts out to
words.
Kroger though. Shouts out to Kroger.
I
But
have no words.
go get you
Make sure I'm
the
making sure you
carnival.
just you dig yourself in the hole, not me.
I said that specifically because I know some folks in the back are probably hopefully they laughing right there because they know my heart they know my heart, so it's all
Mhm.
love. But
Yeah,
as an example,
it's unfortunate that, and don't get me wrong, when I look at the math from a business standpoint, they are leaving a lot of money on the table. When
hmm
you're looking at a potential $85 per customer for 2 bags, and you're leaving, charging people for seats, that's like Ryanair. Even Delta charges you for economy, comfort, and the front of the plane, and
yeah,
then first class, right? So
yeah,
you're leaving money on, but it's like, at what point do we stop becoming a capitalistic society? And unfortunately, I don't think that
we don't,
America will ever stop becoming a capitalistic
yeah.
society. And it's like everybody wants to capitalize, and at what point do you say, okay, well, if you're going to do it, I'm going to do it too? And for the ones that are not like that, you're going to have to change your thought process.
hmm We're at that inflection point right now too because I think more folks are coming to that kind of realization, just like you said right now. When is too much too much? When am I cool and when am I content with what I got? Why do I always have to sit in aisle 1 through 10? Or right again, why do I always have to have that when I'm cool with this, and don't penalize me for
Mhm.
the way that I want to live my lifestyle. So again, that's an interesting conversation for another day for sure.
Well,
But
it's everywhere. I mean, when
mhm.
you think about it, I was looking at McDonald's the other day. I got a message. I haven't eaten at McDonald's in a while, and
Yeah, we can't eat there no more. We can't eat there no
they
more.
told
Yeah,
me that my points were gonna expire, and I'm like, "Since when did points expire?" So I haven't eaten there in so long that they done told me that my points are about to expire at the end of
Lord
the
have
month,
mercy.
and I'm like, "Good Lord,
Mm-hmm.
this is a lot," you know? And they're not the only restaurant that does it, you know? There's other restaurants that say, "You you you want me to participate in your points program, use your app," right? Because this is a tech conversation.
Right.
You use your app to gain points for reward of free food or free fly, get miles for points for, to fly or whatever it may be. Use the grocery app to, get your points for gas or whatever the bonus is, right? And now you're telling me that the stuff expires if I don't use it. You don't use it, you lose it. Even the
So
hotels.
you being called out. What you get? What you get?
I got a Big Mac. I sure
Get
did.
that Big Mac. You get.
I sure did.
I haven't eaten at McDonald's since, remember the McRib. This conversation is just going in all different directions, but that's all good. I remember the McRib back in the day. I may be dating myself. Where are my 40, 50 year olds who remember the McRib? I know Doc remembers those kind of things, but let me ask you this. Because again, so we talked about Signal, we talked about that app, and now we're talking about using apps for convenience. We're talking about travel rewards and things like that. Let me ask you a question about using technology. You got a question?
Well, I want to respond to Doc Rock real quick. I
Okay.
like a la carte pricing because as a professional traveler, I don't have to care about bag fees. I move in carry on only. So cheaper ticket, bringing my own food saves me a grip. I fly at least twice a month and four
Hmm.
times internationally every year. So Doc Rock, that's great. But for somebody like me that's coming from the South to the West Coast, I'm coming with equipment. Now, to James's point, hey, we need to condense. We need to be more mobile friendly. But when Tallboy comes, it's like, hey, I'm trying to come with the gear because the one thing that I was told was in theater of the mind.
Mm.
And no one can tell the difference between my cell phone footage versus my camera footage when they're looking at it on social media, especially the way we all edit it, right? But the theater of the mind, when people see you with all this big old equipment and they see you with your team behind you, they look at you totally different as opposed to you coming in with a phone. I saw it, I experienced it firsthand at CES 2025. I had my team there. And then on my last 2 days that I was there, I was solo and I had the phone. And when I tell you, those people looked at me totally different. And it was like, wow, what a difference the cell phone makes. Now, I'm shooting on a Pixel 9. I'm using a Hollyland microphone, got the best quality, everything. And those folks looked at me like I was just a nobody. Thanks for your time. Uh, let us see the review and we'll get back to you. Whereas when I was with my team, oh, was there anything else we can do? Where can we find it? Uh, Matter of fact, here's a unit for you. Yeah, two totally different things. I'm not on the level of an MKBHD. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Let's
Theater of
have
the
this
mind.
conversation. I mean, now with Doc here in the room, and I know he's knowing him. He's probably flying right now off to podcast movement or something like that. So he got some time. But that's an interesting conversation. That's an interesting story, right? Again, and we're not comparing ourselves to Marquez. We're doing our own thing. We're running our own race, that kind of thing. But does that matter to you so listen, I'm going to NAB in a couple of weeks. I'm not taking a whole bunch of gear. I'm taking these glasses. I'm taking my Osmo Pocket. I'm taking my phone. That's all I'm walking up and down the floor with, and I'm gonna shoot some hot footage. Listen,
Mhm.
right? I mean, because again, we know how to edit, we know how to tweak and do the thing. Does that really matter to you when you walk up to one of those startups at a CES? And I apologize for putting you on the spot like this, but when you walk up to those newly formed companies, one of those startups at CES at the Eureka Hall, who hasn't made but two sales, and they see you walk up there with your phone or your action cam as opposed to a long DSLR or big camcorder, why does that trigger you? Right, because you know what you know your capabilities. You know you can take any footage, cut it up, and do the thing and make it look 100% TV ready. You know your capability. Why does that trigger you? Because the catalog is already out there. You're speaking of your catalog. Your catalog is people need to Google you. Again, I'm gonna give you these flowers, brother. You've got a long track record. So just going there and knowing
But
with
everybody
confidence.
doesn't know you. So it's not about having confidence.
And
Everyone does
again,
not know you.
and again, I'm
No, I'm answering
deliberately
your question.
pushing to
No,
have
no, I'm
this
answering your
conversation.
question.
Mhm.
I'm answering your question. Everybody does not know you. It's not
Yeah.
like you're walking into the building and you're Shaquille O'Neal or you're Michael Jordan. Everybody does not know who Tall Boy is. So
Yeah.
when you go in, first impression is a lasting impression. When we go in, I'm branded. You've never seen me not look professional. May
Hmm.
have some ashy hands every now and then,
Well,
but
you need to get some of that Jergens, brother. I'm gonna leave that alone too.
well, as long as it's not baby oil. But everybody doesn't know you, and I get it. I walk in, I'm center of attention, and so I'm not a Doc Rock, I'm not a James Hicks, I'm not a whoever the next man or woman may be, right? I'm not the big name company. I just have this thing of first impression is a lasting impression. Now, I'll say this, and I'm gonna flip it back on you. You got married, and I don't know if you remember the cost, but how much did you pay for your wedding video?
I do not remember
Okay, let's just say
because
you paid a
I
thousand.
didn't have to pay for it.
Okay, so
Amen.
let's say you paid $1,000 for a wedding video. Let's just throw that number out. All
Okay.
right, $1,000 for a wedding video, and you're expecting, or your wife, not you, your wife is expecting them to come in with a camera, a tripod, a big old lens, take the photos, right? But
Hmm.
if they came in with a cell phone and you just gave me 1,000, and I just gave you $1,000, is your wife gonna be looking at the videographer a little crazy? Am I right or wrong?
No, there's going to be a second glance for sure. There is going to be that stereotypical second glance, like,
There you go.
right,
There you go.
yeah,
There you go. There's your answer to the question. So and it's not that I know that my work is not good, but my thing is first impression is a lasting impression. And the one thing that was taught to me when I first got into this business, he said, I can give you a red camera and I can shoot on my cell phone and my footage is going to come out better than yours because you don't know how to work that camera. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And the way it was brought to me was theater of the mind. If I tell you caller number 9,
I
you're
love
going
that
to win
statement.
tickets. Theater of the mind, caller number 9, you get tickets to go see Beyonce. Everyone watching right now thinks that they can be caller number 9. Now, how many people are watching? That increases the odds of you being caller number 9. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's why I think the way I think when it comes to that. It's not to say that I don't believe in myself. It's just that I want to be respected just like I respect them. And unfortunately, these companies, and I don't want to bring race into this, but they don't value a tall black male with a team or, and I've been coming to CES, so there was years that I did not have a team. They just don't value me, if that makes sense. Now, when they see the final product, oh my God, this is amazing. And how can we move forward? But it's why should we even have those conversations? I'm not the CNETs, I'm not the Engadgets, I'm not the 9 to 5 Googles. So because I'm not that, and unfortunately, that's how some of these companies think. And that's what I've had to deal with over the years of being at CES.
I hear you, man. I hear you, and I respect your perspective. I really do, because I know where you're coming from, and I know that one year when you didn't have a team, and I came up on the red carpet, and that was when we first connected because you had all the gear. You had the top hat, the ascot. Boom, you was looking fly, right? And I said, man,
Creator of the
this
month.
brother over here, let me go help him out because he is on the end, right where everyone is going to end up. Boom, he's got to get these
Had a line of
shots,
people. Had a
right?
line of people waiting, and I'm holding a monopod and a microphone,
Yeah, he
struggling
was
trying to
sweating.
get these interviews in, and out the middle. And this is how he and I met. For the ones that are watching, I was struggling,
Yeah,
but I had the look. And the look was those people were lined up waiting to interview me. Now, the other
yeah,
gentleman that I was with, he had better credentials. He knew more about them than I did, but he said, hey, set your stuff up and go do you. And I had the equipment, and people were in a line waiting on me. Not the fact that I had this cell phone, because cell phones weren't popular back then, but to Doc Rock's point, if Jamel Shabazz showed up, yeah, Doc Rock understands he don't care as long as there's a camera.
yeah,
But there's other people, these companies, they look at things like that. They pay attention to stuff like that. And unfortunately, you're trying to get those old dogs to look at things differently in 2025, but they
yeah.
only know one thing.
That's
And so
where I'm coming from.
so until they get it, I have to continue to do this, or that's what at least I feel. And so, yes, I'm going to
Yeah.
bring my equipment and try to be as light as possible, even though I should not have to.
There you so that's again, this is more of a therapy session, I think, honestly, for me. And I wanted to have that conversation. And also want to give a shout out to Laura Clapp Davidson's over in IG. So if you have some Shure gear with you, what's up with you, Laura? You'd be all right, right? Because very true. Where my stuff at, man? I should be working with my Shure gear right now. But companies like that and representatives like that, they get it, right? You show up. If you're already in the room, you're credentialed. So not everyone can go to these events. Not everyone. A lot of people try to go to CES, but you have to be in media, you have to be in entertainment, you have to be in content creation, you have to be in the industry to even get in the door. So
Hmm.
I think I've just gotten to a point, and it's no different level, it's no different step. It's just my mentality, because I'm a couple of years older than you, and I'm tired. Where I just don't care. Right. I'm gonna show up. And if I'm in the room and if I approach you and we have a one-on-one conversation, a real introductory conversation, hey, tall boy, I see you run this company, you've got these products. I would love to do a quick interview with you. All right, let's do it. Boom. And then I pull out my Osmo, or I pull out my phone, but it's got all these attachments on it. And then I tell you in 48 hours this is gonna be out. If you don't respect me for what I come with, being efficient in my transport, because one, I'm not going to hurt my back anymore like I used to by carrying all these lenses and cameras and all that stuff. I'm being more
Hmm.
efficient and effective in terms of how I'm
Hmm.
bringing this content. So it's coming at this conversation from the same mindset. I understand you, and that makes sense, but
So the
I've just
problem
got
with
I've gotten to a point where,
so here's the problem. I'm dealing with startups that probably just don't know no better, whereas you're probably dealing
wow,
with the bigger names,
come on.
and they already get it because, like you just said, sure, they get it. They know people
Yeah,
coming in with their mobile.
yeah.
But these smaller companies, they're looking for any press that they can get, and they're looking at, oh, he came in with this whole shebang, right? I was
Hmm.
watching a video today. I'm not going to throw out the people that I saw. I was watching a video today on Instagram, and they didn't say it, but I could see the look on their faces of the person that came in, and he had his camera, he had the C stand with a shotgun mic pointed down at them at the restaurant that they were at, and they were just so excited that they had this whole setup. Now I went into the restaurant a couple weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, have you thought about doing it?" Oh, we got all that set up, and never seen my work, don't know anything about me, and don't know what I could have done for them, but they weren't interested. And new company, new restaurant, but my thing is, you're a new restaurant. All any press is good press, right? I mean, especially when it's done in good light and you're approving it. And today he came in with the gear, with the tripod, the camera, the mic on the camera. He had the honeycomb light in the back, and it was like, oh yeah, we shut down the whole shop for the day. Startup. And that's the companies that I'm trying to attract because
Yeah.
I understand that I'm not necessarily a startup, but that's the people that I want to do business with because I want to grow with them. And my thing is when we grow together, when we move on up, because you know what they say, be careful to the people that you're talking to on the way to the top because you're
Come
going to have
on.
to cross the way back
Come
down.
on.
I'm trying to build those relationships going up to the top with those. And we can say, remember when we first started out here? Shout out to Benji Locke and Robbie Cabral, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we started together and I'm happy to see his movements. He's happy to see my movements. And guess what? We get to grow together. And that's what I try to do with each one of these companies at CES every year. I am only concerned with Eureka Park. And I go over to the other halls because I know that I have to cover this to make it interesting, but I'm trying to find startup companies that I think would make sense for that adult audience that says, wow, I need a product like a nudge that will remind me of my pill reminders or mouth
Mm-hmm.
pad for somebody that, cannot, that needs their services. So, or a voice pie that they're a company that can translate the conversation in your earbuds. These are all startups. I'm trying to build with you.
Yeah. I first and foremost, I appreciate you. Right. And I kind of set you up because I wanted to have that conversation because again, I wanted to give you the flowers. Right. Just the fact
Appreciate
that
you.
you have that tenacity to roll with and again roll with Eureka Park while I'm over in at Samsung and at Sony and LG doing all that thing, having drinks and eating steak with them, you over there talking to the folks that's coming up. So that right there, again, a lot of times I talked to someone earlier today about them being humble and they've grown their podcast network to a huge entity and about being humble. But still you got to talk about your wins. That just was something I really feel. So I really wanted you to say that. So I apologize if I
Mm-mm. You
set
good.
you
We
up a
have to
little
have these
bit, but again, it was in best interest
no,
to have this
but
conversation.
we have to have these conversations.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side,
Oh my goodness. Hold on, brother. See, you being thrown out there, trying to
oh,
use
I
that.
already admitted that I am ashy every now and then. I've already said that. So it does not bother me that she makes that statement. It does not
We
bother me at all.
should we
Will
talk
I use
about
the
men's
cocoa butter? No,
subscription
because I do
boxes
not
too?
want because I
Do
don't
I
want
need to
to
get
stink.
you hooked up with some bevel or okay? We got to get you hooked up with men's subscription boxes. Take care of that skin. Go
Okay.
ahead on, brother. Go ahead.
Now, on the flip side, there is a time to adapt.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we do need to start going lighter because the equipment has now moved to where it can now all be done mobile. You can
Yep.
edit on Canva on mobile. You can edit on CapCut on mobile. You can shoot your content on mobile. You got microphones and lights that can be done. All of this is all mobile. So, is there a way to probably effectively do this a little bit easier and lighter? Yes. I just don't think that is as popular right now. But trends, right? Because one day we're going to laugh at. Remember when we had that Canon T5i,
No,
the
no, and not
T7i?
we never had no Canon.
Okay, well,
You
I
don't
had it.
okay.
Nikon, whatever it
Mm,
may be. We
bless
all
them.
had Canon and Nikon back in the day, and then Sony crept up on us
Shout out to
and said,
Sony.
"Hey, this is where we're at."
Yeah,
And so the Canon and Nikon people were still battling back and forth. And then Sony came and just took over
took over.
because you could upload the photos in real time to your phone without going through extra steps and you didn't have to take the SD card out. And then now we're in a mobile era where you're paying for a $1,500 phone that can do the same quality on that $1,500 phone.
Sure enough, Sony got their own phone too. And shout out to Sony. 7 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. Sony has an announcement. Don't let Don't let is my wife here? Don't let me pull out that Southwest credit card. And okay,
You
we'll
gonna
see.
buy the ticket for me to go to the okay, well, go ahead, big time. I
We'll
appreciate
let y'all know
he
what's.
hyping me up, y'all. No, yeah.
I will leave that alone. I think let's do this though, because this is an interesting conversation, and I think coming in from all sides. And I don't know if Doc is still here, and I don't know if Laura's still here as well. But maybe one of these episodes before we close out the season, have a roundtable conversation about travel tech and how creatives travel with tech. Because one, we go to a lot of conferences. One, you travel to a lot of global locations, and you very conscious about what you take with you, right? So
Mhm.
you're going either overseas, you're going to a conference, and the tech that you pack to do the thing that you do is conscious. The stuff that I'm taking with me to NAB next in 2 weeks, whenever it is, I'm taking these Shure mics, I'm taking this Osmo Pocket, I'm taking these glass, those kind of things, and just have that conversation back and forth with the community, why it matters to take this to this type of event, or why you should consider taking this to that type of event. I just think that would be an interesting conversation to have different perspectives, because you're coming at it from one way, I'm coming at it from another way, and someone like Doc is coming from a whole
Well,
different
Doc is
perspective.
gonna be very bold with you and just tell you, "Hey, I'm trying to be as light as possible." And, the other person may I'm not saying that anybody's gonna say this, but the average person is the rule of thumb is use what you got. And
Truth.
everybody is not able to have
Come
multiple
on.
softwares, um, microphones, lights, tripods. Everyone's not able to do what we are able
Hmm.
to do.
Hmm.
And so a lot of it is preference, right? Because it's like, hey, I'm comfortable with this, but not taking anything away. But shout out to J5 Create.
Go ahead,
They
J5.
didn't because they didn't send me this quad
Hey
HDMI
man.
video capture station. So instead of me bringing out an A10 mini, I could just have this and we would be good to go. So now I just have to put that into use and say, instead of taking the whole shebang, all I got to do is just plug in your HDMI to your Sony camera, my HDMI, Doc's HDMI, and anybody else's, because you get four sources, and then now we can run it as as a A10 mini as one source. And look how small this thing is. It's so small it almost fits in the palm of your hand.
Go ahead with yourself.
I
Talking
mean,
gear, boy. We over here talking gear. Look
look how
at him.
small that thing is. And it's got four HDMI ports right there in the back. And it's got an audio microphone, audio headphone, and then HDMI out, and then it has the host. So yeah,
So it's a switcher
and USB-C power in. Yeah. It's a switcher.
from J5.
J5,
Interesting,
yeah.
because I'm looking. I was looking at something as well for the
But this
very
is
near
look how
future.
small this is.
Yeah,
So
no, that's
now
dope. That's dope.
we can so remember we were in the CES media room. I had the whole laptop, I had the A10 mini, excuse me, the other J5 capture card. You were trying to bring your stuff in. I
Right.
was trying to bring
Remember
my
that.
stuff in. Now, now, hey, you know what? You got your camera. I got the HDMI ports, plug it in. We got the cameras pointed on everybody, and we can do a four angle. A quad, a 3-in-1, a 4-in-1.
So what's
You
the
can
model
do
number on that again? Because I'm gonna bring up the J5 site.
oh yeah, look at you.
Yeah, we gonna do
J5
that.
Create, JVA08.
JVA08 quad HDMI. Good Lord have mercy. What's Doc talking about? He said everyone can't ball. That is Tatum's and Pritchard's job. There you go with the Celtic love right there. Yeah. Bro, the palm of your hand can hold.
Hey man, you better leave my Buick LeSabre alone. Leave it alone, Doc. I love my Buick.
He said the palm of your hand can hold a Buick up in his mug, man. Okay. The price is right. Okay, but let's make sure functionality, because and reason I say I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the Yellow Box Ultra, right? And Doc, I believe you
Mhm.
got one of the Yellow Boxes as well,
So
but
you over there looking at $1,400
yeah,
versus how much?
versus 300. So again, I know J5 is the truth, but I haven't seen this new model. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for as well. Light, compact, efficient, so I can do the thing, plug in a handful of cameras, plug in a couple of mics, and do remote mobile
So the
interviews, things of that.
so the problem with J5 Create, they have a marketing issue.
Come on.
So they have some solid products, and I highly recommend anybody to go to over to J5 Create. Just Google J5 Create. We all
I'll put a
know
link
about
in the description as well for folks after the
what's the
show.
capture card that everybody uses?
Elgato face
Yeah.
cam link.
Everybody, because Elgato is the top of the line.
Yeah.
A10 Mini is top of the line. Everybody knows about Elgato. No, but very few people know about J5 Create. And they have a marketing issue. And that's fine because, there's people like me that's saying, hey, check out this JVA08 or JVA06 or whatever the model number is that they have, right? Because I use their products. But I'm just one man. And if the marketing campaign say, go to Elgato because they partnered with Ecamm, or go
Hmm.
over here to this company because they partnered with vMix. If J5 Create is not having these conversations with these streaming companies, then how are they going to get their messaging and their branding out? But the product is just as solid as what was the product that's $1,300? The YOLO box?
Yeah, the yellow
It's
box.
just
Yeah.
it's just as solid. It's pushing out 1080 60.
Based in Atlanta as well. So based in the US. So we
Capture
love that.
4-channel HDMI video with
There it is
5
right
channel
there.
audio with a 5-channel audio mixer and supports live streaming audio. Supports live streaming 1080 60 frames per second. 5 different screen modes, single view, PIP, um, quad view, by 1 by 3, I think that it is, and a quad view.
Okay. Okay. Fully
But
compatible with OBS, XSplit, Camera 5. Come on, we got to who I know over at Ecamm. We got to get that listed explicitly, not just assume. But all
But
right.
once again, James, the problem with J5 is a lot of people just are not familiar with J5
Yeah,
Create. And so because of that, they have to do a better job of getting into the live streaming community and saying, "Hey, this is our products. This is how it works."
I agree with
And
you on that. Yeah.
and once they figure that part out, then I think they can now, put a stake, plant their flag in the ground and then tell people, hey, the South got something to say over here too.
Hmm. We know those folks. We might want to get them on this show as well. I think we had them on the lab. We had them on your show a few
Hmm.
times
Hmm.
before, but let's,
Hmm.
let's continue to have that conversation and tell them the baby's ugly, right? The fact that their marketing efforts could use some assistance. I think we've told them that in confidence before already, but like when I go to Best Buy and I see J5 Create stuff, it's just like Doc says, it's their hubs. It's it's not this type of technology. It's not these things. It's not they've got some PTZ cameras as well. I remember when they showed us those at CES a couple of years ago. This stuff is hot. But again, folks don't know about it because they're not proactively having those marketing conversations. So we can let's help them out. Let's help them out. There we go. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna bring J5 Create to the masses there. And maybe you just saved me $1,000. But
Oh, so since I saved you 1,000, then they're
watch the
gonna help
tone
me
now.
get to
Hold
Vegas.
on.
It's gonna get me to Vegas. Look at me over there working my magic. Boy, look, I can't give you the money, but I can
Look at
save you some.
God. Look at God,
Look at
boy.
God
Okay.
working, boy. Look at God working.
That's dope. That's dope. Listen, I always love the fact that we consciously again try to figure out. We got a list of topics to come up with and talk about, but when we open it up to the community and to the audience to have a conversation, we can go for over an hour and bring some value. I really do
They
believe we
didn't want to
brought
hear the
value.
topics that we really had.
Uh,
They didn't. You know they didn't.
I know they did. I know they did. It was
You know
trifling.
they didn't want to hear
It,
what
it
we
was
had.
trifling,
But,
man.
but like you said, the conversation just flowed naturally.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're still here. And the positive is we then gave some value. We've given some companies some shine. We've had an honest conversation of
Hmm.
what needs to probably happen. I've been listening to Gary B recently, and I think a lot of it is we're just stuck in our own way.
Yeah.
And I already know that Snapchat was not my thing. I already know TikTok was not my thing. But then now they talking about this live selling over on Whatnot, and I'm like, man, I've been watching that Whatnot over there.
Yeah.
Live
Whatnot is
selling
cool.
is about live selling is going to be the new thing after this TikTok thing has gone away, because we don't know within the next 2 or 3 weeks whether or not it's still going to be here or not.
Hmm.
But there's going to always be something forever evolving, and the next thing is this live selling. And it's funny because now we could be, instead of getting a job at QVC, we could be the new
Your
QVC.
own QVC. Yeah.
And you could be your own QVC person.
And so what's the trip is, you say live selling is coming. Live selling is here, and it's not gate kept, but there's a small subset of creators that are doing it well and doing it efficiently.
Hmm.
Now the fact again, there's these multiple platforms on both major mobile platforms. So multiple services on both, maybe on iOS and on Android, that allow you to walk around with stuff you got in your house that you. I just got a whole bunch of stuff today that I should have done. I'm not an unboxing dude, but I should have done unboxings for, that again allow you to be that trusted advisor to your community and say, look, I just got this. I'm unboxing it. This is what it looks like. Oh, you should go check it out. And then have your affiliate link, get that money, right? Build that trust, build that authority, be that trusted advisor, especially over stuff that you already got in your house. That's what's up, because brands are realizing, and I'll get off the high horse in a second and let you close this out. But brands are realizing that the creators are starting to come in control of the conversation, of the consumer conversation. I don't like the word. I've never liked the word influencer. I always like the word advocate. You guys know that. But the creators are the one that are really the ones that are drawing attention, either to buy something or not to buy something. It's not the big. It's not the big marketing company from X, Y, and Z company. I don't want to mention any company. I don't want to get in trouble. We're trying to keep brand relationships on point here.
Just say it,
But
man. Be
I,
done
I,
with
I
it.
no, I ain't gonna mess up this money. Don't do that. I ain't gonna mess up this money.
Just tell the truth. Tell the
I
people how
got
you
I
really
I know I got
worried about
kids. I
the
got
check.
2 kids in D1 colleges. I can't mess up any of this money. So you're
He's-
not gonna get me to spill nobody's beans. That being said, Whatnot is a cool app. Maybe next week we'll do a demo of what app. We'll bring on my dude Billy Thorpe, who was killing it with UGC and utilizing that platform. I think our guy Matt Haas is actually trying to do some things there as well. I saw him trying to set up some config with his cameras and things like that to get that going. Y'all on Superwhisper. All right, so okay. Superwhisper, boy. See, squirrel moment. What was I saying? That's the thing. Creators are the new heads of state. Creators are the new heads of state. Question from the community here about Superwhisper. I have Superwhisper. I also have, hold please, Letterly. Two apps that do very similar. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? 2 apps that do something. You must know something about Letterly. So Super Whisper
Yeah,
and
I've
Letterly
been
are
there.
very similar to Plod. Plod is
Mhm.
is a device that you carry around, automatically records, transcribes conversations.
Mhm.
I'm looking at both of these apps because I always like to do kind of a A/B analysis. So I've got them both installed. I've been in conversation with the Letterly folks because I want to make sure, one, that there's a web environment, not just a mobile app, but I want to make sure that they both work
Fair,
the way from my use case. You must know
fair.
something about Letterly. So
Okay.
so
So I'm
Doc,
not
long answer
familiar.
short, yes, I got Super Whisper, brother.
I'm not familiar with Super Whisper,
Mm,
but literally, here's the funny thing. I was in church 2 weeks ago.
mm,
Had a guest. preacher, member of the church, but he was preaching. And it's funny now because church is not church anymore.
Come on now. Oh, Lord.
And I say that because when you go to church, you take your Bible to church.
Mm.
And you
Let's be
open it up.
clear, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Let's be
Period.
clear.
You take your Bible. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to read it, all of that stuff, right? Then a couple of years ago, 2013, 2015, we got a little fancy, a few of us.
Got the
And we
Bible on your
started,
phone.
got the Bible app on the phone, and the older generation, they looked at us kind of sideways and was like, "That's disrespectful. You got a phone in you got the Bible app and you got your notes app."
Mm-hmm.
Late 2024, found out about this service called Letterly, and I wish it could do 30 minutes instead of 15, but I literally let it do its magic. I turn Letterly on the phone, and it records all the audio in any environment that you're in. Trying to pull it up right now on my phone so I can give you a little brief snippet.
Go ahead,
But
give us a snippet. I
man,
got it
this
on the
thing.
screen for you too.
So I open up Letterly. There it is on the phone, right there. Right, previous 7 days. Man, I don't even know if I want to do. No, I'm not gonna do that one because that's about the family. But
So but explain it. You're talking to the app. It's taking down the
I'm not
notes.
talking to anything. You turn on the app. I'm trying to find the one from the Bible. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this must be it right here. All right, um, so you get 15 minutes of recording. Anything it picks up in 15 minutes is just automatically recording. At the end, you can make it rewrite. And when you rewrite, you can have it do its magic where it will choose the best way to rewrite. It will do a slightly clean up the text. It will revise for better understanding. You can make holiday greetings.
Mm.
You can do text editing. You can do content creation. You can do a video script, short video script. You can turn that audio recording into a newsletter outline, a journal entry, a gratitude journal, casual email, a short summary, detailed summary, meeting takeaways, and then you can do writing styles to make it clear and concise, friendly, casual, formal, or business. So what I do is I take the sermon, and remember it's 15 minutes, so every 15 minutes, and sermon's probably 45 minutes, so you got to probably press it 3 times, but you can get the whole thing out of it, right? And so I did a detailed summary, and it says the speaker begins by expressing gratitude for unexpected support they received during a challenging time, noting that they had 510 text messages after not checking their phone for 6 hours. They mentioned their wife being overwhelmed by the volume of messages, particularly from a group of 400 men at a breakfast event, highlighting the supportive nature of their community referred to as FBA, the church that I go to.
Mm-hmm.
The speaker reflects on a transformative experience that they had while in the hospital, describing it has a personal revival initiated by God. They emphasize the importance of obedience to God's call, which they have embraced with divine assistance. The speaker shares a prayer for hope that others will also heed God's guidance to address their own challenges. And then he goes on to say some more stuff and with 2 more paragraphs. Now, this is the detailed version of this. When I showed this to the gentleman that was speaking, and this was just in this 15 minutes, right? He looked at it and he was so blown away with what he had saw in those 15 minutes.
Mm.
When I tell you, you having a conversation, I had a whole argument with my brother. He was going off.
Yeah.
Let him have it. 15 minutes. I didn't say not one word. When we got through, I hit the rewrite button and I turned it into a video script and sent it to my other brother. And he said, "How did you do this?" And it literally said, "Here's a shot of," and I'm gonna see if I can pull this up here because I don't want to. Okay, so with that same, not to take away from what we were just doing, but the power of obedience and reflection. So basically I turned it into a video script. Scene 1, 0 to 10 seconds, a video, a bustling Chick-fil-A restaurant. Intro text. Ever felt like you've been called out for your habits? Let's dive into a story of reflection and change. Scene 2, 10 to 20 seconds. A man being greeted warmly by a Chick-fil-A employee. Text. Caught in the act, Pastors David frequent visits to Chick-fil-A sparks a moment of self-reflection and humor. Scene 3.
Did you have it record you while you were in the Chick-fil-A line?
So he was talking about Chick-fil-A
Okay.
in his sermon.
Okay.
So he was saying how he had not been to Chick-fil-A to his wife, but the man at an event that they were at, they saw him and said, "We haven't seen you at Chick-fil-A. Well, we missed you for the last couple of days. Where have you been at?" But
Mm,
he had been telling his wife. So now they got this is what he was saying in church. They turned it into a whole video script right here.
my
And
goodness.
I got 6 scenes, and you can literally turn this into a 2-minute commercial.
Look at God, boy.
So
Summarizing the Chick-fil-A sermon.
literally, and then he says, scene 3, a serene setting with a person in prayer. Proverbs 28:14 reminds us, blessed are those who fear to do wrong. Obedience and reflecting God can guide us away from stubborn paths. That's a
Mm.
scene that you could create. And it literally created a whole movie script for you. So this whole conversation, if I really wanted to, I could have been recording this conversation, and it could have literally gave us a whole script for social media, and we could have recreated this whole show based off of that. And maybe I might do that next week on next week's show. And so
Mm.
you can see
Oh
what the
my
final
God.
output is.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the spot there, demonstration of letterly. So, but you
James,
said,
he said that
so
it's called
Mr.
Letter.
Riley, yeah, it's letterly, man. Yeah, good to see you, brother Riley. There, I've been seeing some of the content you putting out
It's
there.
worth every dollar. That's all I can tell you. It's worth every dollar.
All right, let's see if it's worth every dollar. Because again, I just download. I haven't actually paid for either one of them. I'm looking at them both. But literally, you said that there was a limitation though. What, 15 minutes?
15 minutes per recording, but it's unlimited recordings.
Okay. All right.
So
So the fact
so
that cross-platform, so iOS and Android, and so there's a
mhm.
local desktop version as well for Mac. So I like that. Um,
You know they're gonna take care of y'all first.
yes, yes, they are.
I hate that they do that, but I got it.
You know, it's the way of the world, brother. It's the way of the world. Those who covet a crunchy chicken sandwich with Polynesian sauce. Doc over there preaching and telling y'all what a T.I. is.
My mind's telling me no. Period.
I don't know why you did that, but you did it anyway. Okay, so that's
You knew it was
literally,
coming.
and then there's
Now,
Super
Superwhisper. I've never heard of this one. Now tell me about
Superwhisper
this one.
is I downloaded it. I haven't started using it yet. I just heard a lot of conversation about it. It's interesting that Doc's got it already. He's using it, but obviously I'm probably gonna go pro. So Mac and iOS app. Use your own API key, your own AI API key. Translate any language to English. Transcribe audio and video files. Unlimited use of cloud and local AI models. So all of the open AI stuff. Ooh, Claude too? DeepGram and Llama. Man, that's got my attention. Then they got a lifetime deal. $249. I'll do that. Okay. That might let me take a look at Larry, but I'm looking at both because I don't want to carry another physical device. Claude is the truth, right? So again, don't want to talk negatively about anything. What they do is great, but that's a whole nother device that I got to take around. I got to charge up. I got to have a USB-C cable for. I like what they do. They have a very good place in the market and in the industry. So again, just not talking disparagingly about it, but just for me and my use case, I walk around with this thing all the time. So if I can just have an app or a web interface or a desktop version to do the same thing, I would prefer to go that route. So I'm
Well,
gonna definitely take a
the
look at
cool
both
thing
of
I
these.
don't know about Superwhisper,
Context aware for the app that you're using. So that's hot. That's hot.
but this is like I said, it's on your phone.
Yeah.
So because it's on your phone, you don't. All you have to do is, and don't get me wrong, I have Claude. I'm loving Claude, but those minutes, they getting me on the minutes, and I'm like, hey, this is easy. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Frictionless, right? And again, that's where we're going. So, I mean, kind of rounding it back to what we were just talking about: being efficient, being effective. You want to be efficient. You got an idea in your head, and boom, you want to get it out. Or you're at church Sunday. You want to record. Oh man, I forgot to charge up the plod. Or you're never gonna forget to charge up your phone, because that's just what we do. You
Yeah.
just got to fire up the app. Yeah, you have the old sisters in the church looking at you funny for having your phone out. But again, there you go. You got
Well, you got the phone just sitting on your lap, and it's picking
mm,
up all the audio.
yeah. No,
And
with the
then so unlimited number of notes, voice transcription, 90 languages are recognized, screen off recording, um, offline recording, 15 minutes per recording, and 27 ways to rewrite text with AI.
all right, all right. So we talking about all this stuff here, and here we go
What we
diving
needed
in.
to talk about. So in all fairness, I do think that these last couple of weeks we do need to integrate AI in our conversation, because this AI, as I always say, is here,
Yeah,
and with it being here, doesn't matter what service it is, because there's so many AI softwares that are out there. You just got to find the one that works best for you. And for
truth.
someone that's looking to say, how can I gradually, slowly integrate it into my lifestyle? You just have to find that one. But I think these next couple episodes that we have left, um, we just
We go deep into
highlight
these.
highlight one or two of them,
Let's do
because, like
that.
I said, because you saw what Gemini could do. What you say you call her Wanda,
Conda
and
Wanda,
now you
yeah.
see,
After my
and
cousin Wanda, I don't know if she's watching this week, but yeah, I named Tall Boy's AI avatar Wanda because she sounded like Wanda. So let's do this next week. Let's bring back those. I brought up a picture here, so what you just said. I've invested in this company in Martin. So Martin is an AI assistant that
mm,
I now have on my phone, on my laptop, on my desktop, that sees and coordinates almost every aspect of my day. So all my
mm.
calendars, all of my email, all of my to-do lists, all of
I
my
tried to hook you
reminder.
up with something like that, but you didn't want to. You didn't want what I had to offer you.
What you had? I don't remember.
Tried to offer you Alice.
Alice. Well, I got Martin.
Oh,
What's Alice doing
well, Google it.
anyway?
You got it right in front of you. You got the computer in front of you.
I,
Alice
I
AI.
do. Well, Alice AI. Okay, hold on. We gonna take the screen
I
off just
tried
to
to.
get.
I tried to help you out, but you went with Jarvis.
I
You,
did.
Jarvis was a brother, so that's okay.
That's why I
I
went
love
with
my
him. Hey, that's
I,
why I sent them that
just,
money. Okay, hold on.
just,
Alice
just
AI. Let me see. Alice or Alicent? There's Alicent.
Alice.
Alice. Alice. Hey,
And then
Alice.
there you
Hey,
go.
an AI assistant for every task that works with your apps. Hmm.
I tried to hook you up, but you
Did you
weren't interested. You told me you were not interested.
communicate with apps, built-in prompts, assistant, gems? I don't. That sound like I don't like that. Yeah, that sound like tokens and stuff. Pay for one. Well, it would have been cheaper. It would have been cheaper. Maybe I should have paid attention to Alice. Good Lord have mercy, because
uh,
what I gave Martin, Lord have mercy, y'all pray for me. But
yeah.
that's the state of the thing, right? Again, so quick
And then you
flowers
got to look
before
at Google, and look at what Google is doing. They just
Google
released.
is not playing. Google is not
They
playing. They
they making
launched their
Chat
studio and
GPT,
everything.
and
Yeah.
they making Chat GPT, and they making Perplexity look bad out here in these streets. And
Hmm.
it's like they were like, oh yeah, y'all can get out there and let me see what you got. And then now they smacking you in the mouth with some of their stuff that's out. So James is stupid.
Mr. Carr, it's good to see you, brother. Uh, well, I've already invested in Martin, but maybe I should have paid attention to
Hey man,
Alice. I could have saved a couple of nickels, but oh well.
oh
I'm happy with what I got. Let's do this next time. come and do a deeper dive conversation on literally on Superwhisper, because I've gone through some of my testing as well, and then talk a little bit about Martin. But
Well, I'm not
then
gonna buy Superwhisper. Oh, you and Doc Rock can have access to that. I can't afford Superwhisper. How much
hey,
is Superwhisper? I don't even know how much it costs because
pricing is
if it's
relative, brother. Pricing is relative.
$8.98 a month,
Don't worry
I
about
think
it.
YouTube.
It
I
was
think
10.
you. I
Yeah,
think
$10 a month.
YouTube. Look, YouTube Premium, YouTube TV. They got my money right now. Both
They
of them.
got your money. Okay.
Both of them. But I mean, YouTube just took all my ecosystem money.
Well, they got YouTube Lite coming out, right? Isn't it Premium Lite or something like that?
Yeah, but I don't
Get a couple of
have
commercials.
Spotify. So because I don't
Oh,
have
you got that spot.
Spotify, I have the music. So I've already started building out my my playlist with YouTube Music. And to be honest with you, you're gonna eventually come over to YouTube Music anyway. Because when you want to watch a video, guess what you gotta do? You gotta watch that commercial.
Okay,
So,
I did. So again, I'm trying to bring this plane in, but you keep picking at these scabs here. First of
hey
all, let me
man, the
say what's
people
up.
still
Let me say
here
what's
and
up
they
to my
loving it.
guy here, Mr. Ali
What's up,
Johnson.
Alex?
This is bad man, right? You know him, right? So
Yeah,
I was
I didn't get an
just
invite. I didn't get an invite to the forum
oh
to
my
be a
gosh.
speaker, but
Oh,
there's
see,
always 2026, and I would
yes, there's
love to.
always 2026. Why
I
you
would
do that,
love
man?
to.
I'm trying to
I
give him
would
his
love to
flowers.
have a little, PowerPoint presentation.
Oh my
To
gosh.
talk a little something, something. But I'm not with the. See, this is why I stay over there at Eureka Park because I'm one of the little people. I'm not one of the big. Just trying to get.
I
I love you,
I can't even follow it. I don't know. I'm just going. Hmm.
No, premium does not come with TV. That's two separate services, Doc Rock. So YouTube Premium gives you ad free, gives you playback in the background, and it gives you YouTube Music. Lite only gives you ad free. You
Ad
do
free,
not get
yeah.
any. You do not get any playback in the background, and you do not get any music. And then YouTube TV is a separate service, and they just went up from $72.99 to $84.99. So
84.99.
they
I
just
know.
went up in pricing, and it hurts. But the benefit, well, there's a benefit to YouTube TV, and
Yeah.
I'll hold that for next week.
That's a good one. So let me rewind here, because what was I trying to say? I was trying to give Alex some props. One, thank you for the opportunity to speak at the Digital Stage Summit. So that was an amazing session. Humbled to be part of that, and definitely looking forward to next year. Maybe get Tallboy on there to talk about something in 2026. YouTube. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to consolidate all these things in my head before they all fall out. So we talked about YouTube Premium. Got to have that. YouTube TV, that's the truth. No, this is what I want to say. Doc was saying that YouTube Music is the truth. YouTube Music is different than Spotify and Apple Music. When I was building my playlists on YouTube Music, 80% of them were the video. Yeah, it was the music, but either I didn't pay attention, but right, it would always come down in my playlist in my app, and it would have the video too. All right, that's cool. That's nice, but I didn't want to, or it would be a different version. It would be like a club version or a house version. So that was my only gripe with YouTube Music. I just didn't take the time to figure it all out. Right, I didn't read the manual. That was my only gripe with that. The pricing was right though. The pricing was right. Okay, I had to say that. Just had to get that off
So
my
now
chest.
YouTube Music has it to where you can listen to the song, and then there's a toggle button that you can hit for video. So if it has a video
Oh, is that
available,
right?
you can
Okay.
toggle from video to song.
You see, but I'm so deep in the Apple ecosystem and the
It's
rest of
fair,
the family too.
and
So
there's people that's deep into the Spotify ecosystem or the Pandora ecosystem. There's nothing wrong.
I
Your
used to have my
your
techniques, Doc. So again, I'm a 1200s guy back in the
your
day too.
your music platform of choice is your preference. But if you want to watch a video, where do you come? Gotta come to YouTube.
Got to come to YouTube.
You can have any platform because Spotify does some great stuff saying, hey, we're giving you early access to get tickets to go see Tyler the Creator, to go see Beyonce, to go see whoever it is, you Kendrick Lamar.
I done spent
Because
a lot of
it's
money
built
on those
into
three
the
shows right
ecosystem,
there.
right?
God.
You said you spent a lot of money.
Yeah, white. You. There you go, big.
Got it.
The
I don't.
kids just got back from Tyler. We finna go to Beyonce, and they both going to. Yeah, I don't know if they listening now. I'm putting their business out in the street. They getting ready to go to North Carolina to the Dreamville Festival next week.
Mm,
Yeah,
must be nice.
they doing that. Listen,
Must be nice.
my kids are balling, boy. I ain't mad. I'm trying to live vicariously through them. They going to North
Well,
Carolina.
they don't have no responsibilities, and as long as they got good grades, that's all that.
Them A's and B's is their responsibility,
All that
ladies and
matters.
gentlemen.
Hey, as long as they know, hey, as long as I get this A in this class, Daddy gonna do whatever I ask. Yeah, and Mama gonna back them up. Yeah, I got
That's true. That's true.
So at the end of the day, however you choose, I'm not telling you to go with YouTube Premium. I'm just saying if you don't like to watch ads like me, and that was because of James. He got me on the watching no ads thing, and now I'm kind of bourgeois now. Like I can't watch an ad now. I feel like I'm poor if I got to watch ads.
Bad and bougie now.
He did it to me, and once I saw the premium benefit of not watching ads, I laugh at people now when I got to watch ads like Hit the Spot 1006. So I'll be on her phones talking about.
Don't get yourself in trouble now. You know she know her way around the frying pan. Don't let her hit you in the head. I don't want to see no frying pan come across it.
I know how to capture video too, and I know how to post it.
You're gonna leave that alone.
But neither here nor there. What I'm trying to say is, no matter what your platform is, that's your platform of choice when it comes to music.
Yeah.
With YouTube Premium or YouTube Lite, if you're looking to say you don't want to spend that money, I mean, if you don't want to watch ads, they just came out recently with 2 tiers. The original tier of $13.99 of giving you the music platform, that the playback in the background. That means you can literally open up another app such as Facebook, Instagram, or a website or your email and still listen to the current video. And you can get no ads. And with Lite, this now $7.99, I want to say, and you can only get no ads. So they came out with that functionality, which I think is very beneficial. So they're finding a way.
Yeah,
If
it's
Southwest,
very interesting. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if Southwest would have did something like that, hey, one bag fly free, we would have been all right. But the fact that you're making both bags fly free, I mean, you got to pay for both bags. Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is very interesting that here we are, creators talking about we don't want to watch ads on YouTube when
we want you to watch.
But that's a chunk, a small chunk, but it's a chunk of AdSense revenue coming from YouTube. I know, and again we can go down the other rabbit hole of that we still get paid. He didn't mess around and left. Lord have mercy, he didn't turn his camera off. Maybe he was going too long and the battery went down. So we're gonna bring this plane in.
No, don't do me like that.
Hey, in about 30 minutes, y'all, that's gonna be a clip. That's gonna be a reel. In about 30 minutes. That right there is gonna be a reel on IG. Yeah.
Get me wrong.
I knew it was coming. I knew something was I knew there was gonna be a moment where got him.
Uh-oh.
On that note, y'all, thank y'all for watching. He wants to reel it in. I know y'all are still here, and I definitely appreciate you. But
again, we crack dealers. We give them a little bit, and then we have them come back.
And they come back every week.
I gotta change that analogy. I can't keep using that. All right. Sorry.
Remember, he's the one that said it, y'all. I did not co-sign any of that.
I done did something stupid.
Doc, I don't know if you still listen. I don't know if you heard that, but that's that 4.5-year-old audio clip of you. So, yeah, from this moment on. All right, brother, take us home.
Thank y'all for watching. Hopefully, you guys got some value out of what we had to say, share. Once again, this is just two brothers having a regular conversation. We want to try to give you some value. Hopefully, you get something out of this. Get your mind thinking about where technology is going. And it's not necessarily like a new release or a new rollout, but it just gets your mind saying, this is where we're going. And we're just having a conversation to have you think about it. That's it. Hopefully, you'll be back with us next week.
We out, y'all.